So we'll start off with a 2-minute speech to address the audience. Introduce yourselves and tell us why you're running for VP Media and why should students vote. Off you go.
Hello, I'm Andrew Phillips. I'm a third-year journalist student, and basically I'm running because I have a vision to improve the media, particularly online. I feel that over the last couple of years, the foundations have been laid really well here at the media. They've done a great job. However, I do feel that online-wise, we need now to be reaching everyone. I feel that we only reach very few people, and I think now, like you say, with the clubs and the societies that have been mentioned, I think it's paramount that we start reaching out and giving everyone an opportunity to be involved in the media. I don't think we do. I think everyone needs to start learning to get involved, and I think I'm the person to help do that.
When you're ready, Laura. Hello.
My name's Laura. I'm a 4th-year master's student, so I've been here a long time. I've been involved with Pulse for the past 2 years, so this year I'm manager of the paper. So I know a lot about how the paper works, I know a lot about how the union works, and like Andrew said, there are some problems and there are some places where we can improve. So I think that with all my experience, I have the right ideas of how to solve those problems.
Hi, I'm Mo. I'm a 3rd-year screenwriter. I've also been in Pulse for a year and a half. I'm the head of entertainment at Pulse TV, and I'm also a radio host. I wouldn't say I'm the most technical person, but I would say I would be the most creative person. I bring a lot of ideas, and I feel like I would want to push and challenge everyone in Pulse to create more content and represent the people of UCLan. So I want to work a lot with the students and the societies and sports teams. So ideas I want to do are like outline the achievements of sports teams and societies throughout all 3 platforms. And because we do have a pool of amazing talent at UCLan, and I feel like we should use that and use it to our best abilities. Thank you.
Just a reminder to all candidates, when you're on stage, please make sure that mic is nice and close so we can make sure everyone can hear you. We'll start off with one of our questions. How will you ensure that there is partnership working between the 3 media platforms to make sure that all volunteers have a safe space to be expressive and creative?
Well, I think obviously having the space and being creative is very, very important. At the moment, we do have that a bit, but I feel that we don't have it fully. I think people have got to know, students have got to know that Pulse Media is open for any suggestions, any ideas. Any school, whether it's science, history, got an idea, got a story, they should know that it's open to come in, express your idea, express your plans, and we should be welcoming to that.
So the question is, how will you ensure that there is partnership working between the 3 media platforms to ensure that all volunteers have a safe space to be expressive and creative?
So yeah, like I said, I'm editor of the paper, or deputy editor of the paper this year, so I'm part of senior management. So I have an idea of like where there's opportunities to improve on cohesion between the 3 platforms. I think just getting everyone together, whether it's the station managers, the 3 station managers, or more managers within each platform to get together and see how they could work together, if it's sending people out in teams so that everybody has content that they can share and like get out to people in different ways, because obviously everybody consumes media in different ways, whether it's by reading, watching or listening, so that's how I would do that.
I believe that we should create more opportunities for volunteers. So I feel like we should have manager roles and managers should play as managers, and then have volunteers so we can delegate power to each people. I feel like we should... Can you repeat the question one more time, sorry?
Yeah, of course I can. So this was a submitted in advance question, just saying. How will you ensure that there is partnership working between the 3 media platforms to make sure that all volunteers have a safe space to be expressive and creative?
I feel like I would want there to be a pool of ideas where everyone could put ideas out. I would create a policy where no idea is a bad idea, so everyone gets a chance to do what happens. It might not be exactly at that time, but every idea will be worked out at the end of the day. I would also want to create a universal idea that could work on all three platforms, so TV, radio, and paper. Therefore, all ideas are fulfilled.
All right, that's time. Thank you. Okay, so we've got some questions from the audience now, and we'll start in a different order, so we'll start with Mo. What are some changes you would bring to each individual platform to help develop them?
From the radio point of view, I feel like we should, from a sports point of view, I feel like we should outline the sports teams that we have. And so something I would do is have updates on injuries, score lines, achievements from sports teams. And they'll also do the same thing with society, so advertise things that societies want to do. So like drama society plays, musical theatres plays, all those kind of things. For TV, I would want to, personally from working on in the Pulse TV, what I would want to change is bring more ideas, bring more volunteers, so managers can be managers and volunteers can create more content. Currently, there's a kind of thing where managers are kind of doing everything instead of being managers. And for the paper, I wouldn't exactly know as much, but I would want to change more distribution, so let papers be handed into holes, so that every student gets to read the paper, because currently you don't have a distribution problem.
So I think from the paper's perspective, I'm really keen on looking into how many people are picking up the physical paper, whether it's worth printing, whether more people are getting their news from the website, and what else we could do with that budget if it does turn out to be unnecessary. From radio and TV, I'm sort of going to pull them together because they're both sort of broadcast, but I'm really keen on building on what Caitlin's done this year, getting radio played out loud. I'd love to see the radio played in even more student areas. I'd love to see Pulse TV on like these screens, so that they can know that their work is definitely being showcased. We can potentially look into advertising revenue, approaching big local companies, saying like, we've got this amount of people in the atrium every day, like this is what you'd be broadcasting to. Do you want to advertise with us? And seeing what we could do with that money if we could get that.
I do see what Laura's saying about the paper, but personally, I reckon the paper is still a good way to get news out if if people volunteer and do the content. But I do see what she's saying completely about maybe using online. I would understand that. But if we are going to use the online, then it has to be improved, because I think it's not great. We've been concentrating on a lot of things. Like I say, the foundations have been laid for something really good. I think now we've got to build on what we've got. Now I think it's time that we looked at building the online platform, getting more people interested, getting students involved. I think we all need to pull together and get involved in our media.
So final question for the candidates, and we'll start with Laura this time, if that's all right. How will you encourage non-media students into media volunteering to better diversify the media outlets?
Okay, so another thing that I have planned is a massive recruitment drive, starting with freshers but also continuing throughout the year, really like getting the brand up. Like I said in my previous point, I want to see TV and radio shown around the campus, and I think that's a good way of getting people like aware of what we do and how much fun it can be, and just bringing people into this space.
Like I said before, I think the most important thing is that we have to acknowledge that there is plenty of social, plenty of clubs, plenty of different sorts of schools, but loads of talent here at UCLan that should be used, and people should be open. We should be very open to the opportunity to give people the chance to come and show their skills. know, we should show them that Pulse Media is an opportunity for them to get themselves out there, to show what they can do. Opportunity then in future, you never know, to work or whatever. Pulse Media should be a platform to give people chances.
I agree completely with Laura, get a drive for the volunteers, but the most important thing is that we have the media factory right over there. It's the biggest building with the most talented people possibly. When I came to UCLan, the reason I came to UCLan is because there was so much talent right here. So you have a range of talent from screenwriting to musical theatre, and if we drive from first years and second years to get those kind of volunteers in, then I feel that we'll have more volunteers and more content that we can create. Or same thing with journalist students. I also think that it's the same thing with any other students, so law students, medical students, any student that possibly isn't exactly into media and has an interest in it. I feel like we can drive them to like want to be into it too.